been having. So my machine blue screened. Sorry about that. And I'm trying to change one thing each time it does that to see if we can find the fix. So this time I updated the graphics drivers to their latest version, and then Windows didn't give me a choice. Actually, it upgraded the like whatever updates it needed to apply, some cumulative update. So although two things have changed this time, we can probably collectively say we've run all the updates. There's nothing else to update on this machine. So if it blue screens again, I guess the next thing I will need to try will be, I'm not sure actually. I guess I could unplug some graphics cards. There's 3 in there at the moment and it really only needs 1. So I could take 2 out, see if that helps. Yeah. Anyway, let's get chat set up again so I can see all of the chatters. Is that working? It's thinking about working. There we go. Okay. Can now see everyone's wonderful chat. Close all of this. Yeah, get rid of all that. Right. Oh, well, need to remember where we got to. Oh yeah, we were doing this, weren't we? We were looking at I think we were compiling. It's interesting that it's when it's compiling that it crashes. It's very curious. I wonder if that's you know what? It could be something strange to do with Rust Nightly. Maybe that's it. But yeah, we were doing something with Rust. We were making Rust larger, smaller. We were combining it to be smaller. That was it. But that was our sidetrack actually. We were doing that because we were waiting for something. I think we were waiting for something to update on the main site. It's too large to check primality. I reckon it was this. That's what we were waiting for. So we know that's working. And this was the live sites we were looking at. Yeah, that was it. So if we go here, it is too large to check primality. Great. But this is closable. So we can say closed by PR29. Close issue. Yeah. Great. So maybe I should try and give my branch names slightly more meaningful names, because this is just confusing when I read this back. Issue 27 hashtag 29 or hash 29. Yeah, it's not useful. Let's close this. Yeah, this was busted. Okay, yeah, then we started to look at this archive prime 0 thing. That seemed like a simple fix. We were on the master branch. Yeah, I remember being on the master branch. Excuse me. And I don't remember changing cargo toml. What did I change in cargo toml? Oh, I added LTO equals true, and then I was trying to mess around with the size of things. Let's not sidetrack ourselves with that. Let's undo that change. We can come back to that. No rush. But what we could do is we could look at size related things. Shrinking WASM, because I'm sure, yeah, this is where I kind of got lost, right? I'm sure I saw a good. Oh, there's a WASM opt tool. Well, yeah, now this is the sort of thing we should be doing as an extra step, surely. Let's create a ticket for that and come back to it, and I can close this window down. issues, new issue. WebAssembly code size could be reduced by WASM opt. So Travis CI could potentially run WASM opt to further reduce the code size. Specifically in production. Great. Submit new issue. Labels. It's not a bug. I think it's an enhancement. I'm going to say it's an enhancement. I mean, I guess it's potentially part of the single page web app project. But yeah, not a bug. Okay, we did that. That happened. We can close that. We can close that. So we're looking at this. So just check its status again. Yeah, so now there's just the one file, prime RS. Hang on. Just going to adjust something on my phone again. Just having a think about it. There we go. Great. Prime RS, and we had this if statement we were looking at, and we've saved it. Yes. Okay. Let's compile this locally. So I'm not going to build for release. It seems to get upset when I do that. Well, I say that. Sometimes when it compiles, this machine occasionally crashes. That was a pretty quick build. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Let's see where we are. I mean, that's a lie. I think we'll need to pull down the latest code changes, and before I do that, I think it will get upset about the changes we've made to this. So I guess there's a good way of dealing with this and a bad way of dealing with this. I could just check out master. That's one way. Before I hit that, I'm just gonna. So this is line 101, line 101. Check out master. Your branch is behind. Use git pull to update your branch. Okay. Git pull. Pretty sure this will moan saying there's code changes. Local changes to the following files will be overwritten by merge. Please commit your changes or stash them. Fine, let's just stash them. Then we can pull. Great. And then I think, yeah, all of this. There we go. Be replaced. So this should fix our broken linking button thing. So this would build not for release, which is good. Good stuff. So I would expect, and you know what? We shouldn't be doing this on the master branch, so that's now fixed. What we should be doing is we should git branch -m. I did say I didn't really want to create a new issue branch. I don't want to create an issue /28. I thought I did, but I don't. I think it'd be better to just have a branch name that kind of says what we're doing. So fix previous link on primes list page. Hilarious. Okay. We should see we got our one. Yeah, we still got our code change here. So we added some notes, which makes sense. We're on the first page of Prime, so don't display a previous button. Great. Else, some complexity, and here we want to check to see if we are on anything except the first page. Sorry, we're going to link to anything except the very first page. And if it is the first page, then just hardcode archive prime rather than try and put that on the end of it. So that's all good and well. This confused me though. If slug integer is less than or equal to 25, then it looks like it's hard coding to the first page. So let's, if we go to page 1, oh no, that's not what I want, is it? We want the primes. Yeah, okay. We want to, first of all, we want to compile and set up the local test server. Then we want to go to primes. Then we go to the next 100 primes. It takes me to like 101. So I guess a couple of things. First of all, is that the same as that? So it starts at 2. Okay, so those are identical. Those are identical. So else if slug integers less than 25. So I feel like there's just not going into this actually. So here it's 5. Back to first. Oh, okay. So in that case, it's back to the first prime numbers page. Right. So rather than saying previous 25 numbers, it's back to first. Okay. Display a link back to first prime numbers. Cool. Otherwise, it's like previous 100 or whatever. Okay. Well, that makes sense, I think. That works. Great. So 100th. Let's go for next, previous. So in this case, this is the previous button. It does add a slash to the end, but we don't end up with a 0. We end up with that. All right. Feel like we would end up. I feel like this could have an OR on it. If slug int is less than 25. Because this would take us to what, 1? I wonder if we can get rid of all of these extra lines of code and just say or this is equal to or less than or equal to 0. Because then I could probably just have that. Feel is a bit neater. A lot less lines of code. One less if statement. Feels pretty reasonable. Feels very reasonable actually. Just whilst we're pondering on that. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was just trying to get a good view of something on my phone. The nice to have the number of viewers as well as the duration time as well as chat on the screen, and it was failing on about half of those, but now I've got it sorted again. So display a link with text back to first prime numbers. If it says if slug int is less than or equal to 25, but I think this should probably be slug int minus numbers per page. What if we just did that? I think that would actually be what we need. So perhaps we've just fixed a broken if statement rather than adding a whole extra chunk of logic. Let's recompile this. Yep. So next 100 prime numbers. Previous 100 prime numbers, so that works. And if I go to, oh, I don't know, I want to start the 19th. Oh, then that says previous 100 prime numbers. Actually, that's not what we want though. We kind of wanted that to say back to first prime numbers page. So in this case, it would be page 19. The slug int is 19 minus like over 100. Oh no, 100 per page. So minus 100 is less than or equal to 0. Then do this. Otherwise, no. That's curious. Okay, so there's something here not quite right. Slug int. I mean, I guess I'm making some presumptions here that slug int is 19. Is there some way we can prove that? This page shows the nth slug int. This page, yeah, okay, so that's 19. So we're saying else if 19 minus numbers per page, and okay, and numbers per page is 100. We've just kind of proved that to ourselves. If that is less than or equal to 0, I don't quite like that space being there. Then it should show a link saying back to first primes page. Try and compile that again, see if anything changes. As I only removed a space, I really don't think it will. Hit refresh. Previous 100 prime numbers. Curious. Very, very curious. So what does this equal? So just for fun, I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add it as a bit of debug on the end. Some lazy debug. It's lazy, I know, but it's fine. It'll do. It'll do for what I need right now. That run? Already run? Yeah. So that's oh. There's our problem. There's our problem. So that means we're trying to use an integer. We're trying to compare to an integer. So as opposed to a what am I trying to say here? Yeah, so we don't have a positive or negative on the integer. It's just a positive integer. So there's our problem. So slug in numbers per page in order for this to work. Is it? Do we want to compare them in here? Because I've got a feeling if I change them elsewhere, it's going to get upset. So let's change them to, instead of unsigned, let's go with a signed integer. And then I think everything's going to start erroring throughout the code. Yeah, it's all going to get a bit iffy. So I guess we could do 2 I size. Will it do that? Okay, it's probably going to say that's no method I size found for U size. Okay, so convert. So let's find a nice Rust way of doing this. Rust convert U size to I size. Oh, that's quite nice. We can do an as or we can do a from. I think I prefer the from in this case. So we could do I size. See how that gets on. Okay, what's that issue? What's the issue there? The trait bound I size standard convert from U size is not satisfied. The trait convert from U size is not implemented. Help, the following implementations were found. Okay. Do I need to specify? Let's have a look at this error. So right, they've even got a try from, so check for overflows. That's pretty neat. Oh, that's really neat actually. Okay. Let's do that as well. See if that just works. I feel like the syntax is a bit less pleasant. Cannot subtract U size from I size. Okay, so let's do an as I size here. Oof, that's not great, is it? Okay, okay. Let's try running that. Cool. Next 100 primes, previous 100 primes. Okay, and if I go to, we're on like page 19, back to first prime numbers. Great. Oh, that's fixed that bug. We've added, I guess, a small amount of logic to this else if, but I must remember to get rid of this debug as well. Let's get rid of this debug. Terrible debug. But yeah, I think that's okay. Git diff. Let's have a look. Yes. Quit out of that. Okay, fixed. Fixed previous link. That's true, but what did we fix about it? Fixed previous link. So fixed previous link. URLs ending was previously, wasn't it? Wasn't this one? I think that was the one that errored. Let's have a look. Yes. /0. Ending /0 were being linked to and erroring. Push that. Of course, this is the first time we've used this branch, so let's get those code changes up here. Then we'll go to pull requests and create a new pull request. And actually, this relates to URL. What? Not URL. This relates to this issue. What is this issue? 28. This fixes issue 28. Yep. Okay. So that will run all of our automated testing and do all kinds of fun stuff. Just check git status. Your branch is ahead of origin master by 1 commit. Yep, because we put a fix in. I want to have a look and see what branches we've got going on here. Yeah, we can get rid of issue 27 now. That was one we fixed earlier. Git -d. I think that's how we get rid of a branch. Or was it D? Maybe it was D. Let's try lowercase, see what happens. Issue. Hang on. Git branch -d. That's what we want to do. Issue 27. Great. Great. Fix robots.txt deploy. Didn't we fix that? Isn't that like, that's fixed? Branches. Yeah, we can get rid of that one. Get rid of that robots branch. Done. Alright, so that can go. Have a look. Don't need this, I don't think. Got this still running. That's our live page showing. Hang on, that's live. Saying back to first prime numbers. Oh, that'll crash now. Oh, I confused myself by checking live. That's not ideal. So if I go back to issue 28, yes. And then if I go here, currently it won't load because we need our local test running or up and running. Get that going. There we go. Oh no, malformed page URL. Ah, but we prevented that URL from happening. visit this page. Okay, so if I go to this page, then I click previous, then errors. Fine. So that's prime 100, and here if I go prime 100 on my local, yeah, okay, so that is fixed, that is fixed. So we can close that, close that, close that. We got our casting working as well, so we don't need to worry about that. And we got loads of builds going on that are going to take a little while. Okay, so that's another issue squashed. Let's head back to issues. Well, it's not officially squashed until it's officially squashed. Technically, we fixed. I mean, this will be 2 bugs today, 3 bugs today. I'd quite like to test this out. This code thing. So use the okay. So the binary N toolkit is a collection of WebAssembly specific compiler tools. It goes much further than LLVM's WebAssembly backend does, and using its WASM ops tool to post-process WASM binary generated, you can often get another 15 to 20% off of the size. And we get runtime speedups. Cool. Alright. So how do I get hold of WASM opt? I download this thing, do I? Binary N? Okay. Easy. Binary N has a simple C API. Fast. Okay. It's written in C++. I'm okay with that. Prefer it to be Rust, I will admit, but hey, if I can reduce some code size, I don't mind what language we're using to achieve that. Okay, building. I have to build it. Oh no, surely not. I guess I'm gonna have to. Okay, so using the Microsoft Studio, no. Building, I guess we're going to use Linux, so we're going to have to pull a copy of this. Let's clone it. Yep. Alright, let's go up a directory. And another. Let's git clone this. Quite a large repo. What was that, 96 megabytes? That was pretty serious. 96 megs, 1400 files. Okay, so now I should be able to go into it's gonna be like a, where is it? Okay, CD binary N. Okay, so tools, lots of tools. Okay, so I need to run cmake and then make. Wow. That's the first problem. So apt get install cmake. Oh, there's a typo. Apt get install cmake. And we need to do that as sudo. And it needs a password. It's probably that one. It was. Yes, please install all those shiny things. Just whilst it's doing that, I'm going to check out some alerts on my phone. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go, there we go. Close that. Close that. And back to my dashboard. Alright, that's run. So now that's happened, can I run cmake and make? It's never tried this before, not on this machine. Certainly not with this particular build of this particular repo, but it looks like it's doing something, you know? It looks like it's actually compiling. Normally things kick off pretty quick if they're not gonna work. I wonder what it's spending all of its energy on. Is this going to be, if I go into Task Manager, is this going to be a CPU bound thing or a disk bound thing? I don't think this is bound by anything. Although utilization 8%, so it's probably only using one core. That's a shame. I wonder if there's a way to make cmake use multiple cores. There's only one way to find out. Cmake multi-core, multi-threaded. 2013. 2016, and it's a Stack Overflow. The cmake build tool gained parallel. I mean, it's a third of the way there. Alright, well, we'll try that out. If this needs to be compiled again, we'll try this with parallel. 34%. This is a stream that seems to be mostly us looking at a screen while something's compiling. Definitely going to add parallel next time we do this. 12 cores and it's using 1. I don't know why it doesn't do that by default actually. It feels like at some point someone added the parallel option and didn't think it should be a default. Probably breaks something. 46%. Come on. Okay, so that'll be cmake. Then it's got to run make, and then we should find out if we can squash our WebAssembly files or not. That's really what we want to know. Whilst that's going on, of course this is taking a long time. So we'll take a look at that as well. Um, 57, 58. I don't know what this. I feel like this is trying. This is a plugin that's not quite. Hang on. Control and click to follow link. File is not displayed. Either binary user and unsupported text encoding. Oh, because those are the output files. Well, at least we've learned something new. At least we now know we can click on these and they will try and open in the editor. Knowledge has been gained. How's the mic? How's the screen font size? How's everything for people in the stream? How do you like Rust for web? How do you do Rust for? Oh, I see. So there's a question in the chat. How on earth do we use Rust for front end? So if I go to one of the more simple pages, so if I go to the home page, so this is the home page of this site. There's a framework called Seed, which allows you to, in this case, I'm just formatting HTML, right? Using these macros, and what it'll do is it'll then compile using. If I show you the cargo toml, using WASM bindgen to WebAssembly, and then at that point you end up with, in our case, there's a package file somewhere. There it is. So you end up with this WebAssembly file, which this editor won't open because it's binary, and that WebAssembly file, some JavaScript and some HTML gets, and the index HTML is like super small. This is just like a bootstrap file, really. Gets thrown up onto a web page. Oh, sorry, I did. How much do you like Rust for web? I did. Sorry. One thing I haven't solved is the fonts. I don't have a second screen on this machine. Unfortunately, I'm using a little tiny tablet for the chat. I did misunderstand. How much do I like it? It feels pretty solid. I feel that anything I build in Rust is very, very robust. But I guess the feedback time is pretty slow. So with JavaScript, your feedback time can be fairly instant, but this I have to recompile each time. So I don't know how long it takes me to run it. That probably takes 10 seconds to compile. Maybe we could speed it up a bit more. Oh, this is finished. How are things? I've watched your Twitch channel. Let me just close that. How are things? Yeah, things are well. Things are well. Newcomer to the chat. Oh, I think this might be a spam person. But I'll carry on my conversation with LumiLeet. Yeah, so interactive programming. Yeah, just reading your messages. Cool. I quite like that. Have we tried? Has that bot at least attempted to speak like a human? Yeah, it's really bad, isn't it? Let me just gently remove that bot from this channel. Bear with everybody. Goodbye. And you're gone. Let me just catch up with chat again. Yeah, so Rust comes out on top with heavy stuff, that's true. But I guess really that's, in this case, if we're compiling to WebAssembly, it's WebAssembly that's doing the heavy lifting. I will say WebAssembly does seem to be faster than JavaScript by quite a bit. At least in this site's implementation. When we converted from when we were using JavaScript, we had some backend PHP doing some of the heavy lifting at one point. But yeah, switching to Rust plus WebAssembly has massively sped things up. Many orders of magnitude on some of these methods. Let's see where everything is. So this is still, what's this doing? That's now run. Okay, so we got loads of greens across the board. So we've probably got a pull request now that can refresh this. It's still running. Okay, so we're still waiting for that to build. Then we can deploy that new code. And at the same time over here, we were trying to squash this WASM file. Don't need that anymore. Okay, so we're basically trying to find like a quick build, quick guide. Running. Okay, so it's in the bin. We should see a bin file. Yeah, we do. That's exciting. So should I go back into... Let's go back into big primes. Yep. Oh look, I've got a bad copy of big primes. I've forgotten about that. I should tidy that up. And let's go to the package directory. And then let's run this binary. Maybe I just run it just directly on the WASM file. I don't know. Is it WASM opt? I reckon. And then we're going to run that on this WASM file. No output file specified. Not emitting output. Okay, so let's call it test. Start off with test 3 just to confuse our future selves. Unexpected second positional argument test 3 for in file. Okay, so do I need to specify a file like this? No output file specified. Yeah, so test 3 is small. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's go back, keep reading the instructions. Options. So this is print. Pretty print out one of the test cases in the test suite. So we run it. We run it on a input WASM file. This will print out JavaScript to the console. Well, okay. Okay, let's keep going. Maybe let's find WASM opt, because that's what we're trying to do. All right, let's consult the documentation that comes with it. Wow. Wow, there's a lot of options on here. Okay, so the only option it takes is an in file, and we can read, we can write, and we can optimize. So there's a execute default optimization passes. So maybe I need to quick and useful. Most ops generally gets most performance, so O2 is good. Optimized passes spends actually a lot of time optimizing. Okay, so there's an O2 4. Okay, so let's just add an argument to this. To see what happens. Was it an O? Was it an O? Was it a, maybe it was a 0 for optimize. Hey, it's doing something. Took a bit longer to do something. Just catch up with chat again. Performance is a fickle thing. Okay, so okay, it's quite a bit there. So performance is a fickle thing. Well, Rust itself is pretty good. And that the performance of Rust in most, like actually everything I've converted to Rust has been faster. But obviously that's just anecdotal. And most abstractions in Rust are just trying to be low overhead. Yeah, I mean the main thing about Rust for me is the safety that it brings. I guess that's the main reason for using Rust over something like C++. Yeah, it's the safety. So it's super fast, but it comes with a lot of the compiler brings a lot of safety. And I think it's quite nice just to write as well. It's quite a pleasant language. I mean, maybe I've made a bit of a mess of it here, but normally it's pretty pleasant. What do you normally? What's your language of choice? Line 114 is not pleasant. No, it's not. I think this is because I'm using the seed. No, actually, no, that's not true. I can't blame it entirely on that. It's because I'm using this seed library. So it gives me this vector macro. And yeah, let's tidy that up. Let's tidy this up a sec. You've made me self-conscious about this line. I'm not even going to read chat for a minute. I'm going to take a look at this line first. Let's see what we can do about this. There we go. I think that's slightly better now. Now I'm going to catch up with chat. So you're primarily arguing dynamic languages with just-in-time, with optional type systems versus statically typed and compiled and optimized. I guess what are you arguing? Are you arguing on speed, or are you arguing on just speed of development? We've got a user. Sorry, it's small font. I'm gonna bring. I tell you what, I will bring the screen closer to me. That's a smarter idea, isn't it? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. So, Vuren. You're planning on moving to Rust, and the safety aspect of it is appealing. Yeah, I mean, particularly if you're paying out, if you're on a larger project and you have, bug bounties, I do feel like you're going to pay out a lot less bug bounties if you've written it in Rust. But that would be my experience anyway. C# before now. Yeah, that's good. Closure. I've not used Closure. I've not used any Closure whatsoever. That's a language I'm completely unfamiliar with. Yeah, it's definitely a usability. Well, I don't know if there is a usability trade-off. I think it's there's a feedback trade-off. That's true. I guess for some of it though, Rust will pick stuff up at compile time that you wouldn't necessarily pick up until someone files a bug report, which I guess is a bit difficult to quantify that. Are you getting your degree in cybersecurity, information security, and digital forensics? Is that's the full title of your degree? Is it? Yeah, bug bounties are really cool. I really like them. Not necessarily just to participate in, but just the whole concept of it. Financially rewarding people to find problems with your software. It just seems like a no-brainer. Anyway, right, I've made that line slightly better. I still don't really like it, but this line is better now. Right. I guess we could even make this better. Better is definitely a questionable word here, but more readable, maybe. Cool. Okay, we've reformatted that, and that was a massive sidetrack, but well worth it. I think we can all agree that this is a less painful bit of code now, even though there's loads more lines. What on earth was I actually doing, though? Something to do with this. Yes, I was optimizing. I was trying to optimize. No, you're right. It does look like proper weird list manipulation. It's macros and Rust are something that I've only recently started using, and I haven't actually written any myself. Normally, if I go to one of the more heavy pages, so it's going to be a good page for that. Probably just scrolling up in here might get a bit more interesting. So this is another terrible function, but at least it doesn't have macros throughout of it. But actually, I don't like that function either. But then some nice bugs. Bugs? I've got the word bugs. No, some nice tests that were there. Something like this I think is not too bad. This is quite pleasant as a function. Yeah. No macros. But it can get, like the use of unwrap, which is a Rust thing, that can be quite interesting as well. Once you've got loads of unwraps going on, it's not so clean. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with chat because you guys, you're all asking some really interesting stuff, and at the same time, I think I'm doing two other things, but I think I'm keeping up. Yeah, list manipulation. So we ran this with the 02 and it was slightly faster than if I run it without, which suggests, and if I bump this up to like 03, That takes a lot longer. So this is doing something. We're just not necessarily getting any output. No output files specified. So maybe there's an argument for an output file. No, it doesn't matter whether you're a noob at this language or not. You'll always spot something. There's always something to spot. Let's add a help to this. Help. That's better. Right. What do we got? Output source map. I feel like there must be an output. Hang on, I'll catch up with your message in just a moment. I've seen it, and I will definitely read that. I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna be lazy. I can't be bothered to read all of this. Let's just grep for the word output. That's a bit better, isn't it? Okay, well that's simple. -o. So -o. Let's call this test3.wasm. 1.1 meg as opposed to 1.3. Let's go for an 04. And then actually I can call this test 4. Whilst that's running. Usability is quite unspecific. Requirements. Oh, let's not go there. I'll bring this closer. Hot swaps, REPLs. Running tests in a remote live application. Yeah, that's true actually. I guess you could do that. There's nothing specifically stopping you from thanks for, I think that was a follow. Thanks for the follow. There's nothing specifically stopping you from running changes to your, well, maybe not changes, but tests on your code in the browser. So there's, if we open up the console, you could see what. Yeah, no, you got me thinking now. No, I don't. I think you're right. I think it's definitely going to be more difficult. But we could, if we knew what the JavaScript functions were. Oh, of course, I'm not running my local test server at the moment. That's thought provoking actually. How can we do stuff in the browser to get like live? How can we change things live? Yeah, I'm gonna think on that one. That's a good question. Okay, let's see what we ended up with. Can we get more information than that? WC-L, that might give us some more info. So we've got test, let's just do star. What? That doesn't make any sense. That's saying that test 4 ended up larger than test 3. Let's try output or optimization level 2. And let's try optimization level 1. Oh yeah, the poll is spamming the chat. I'm up for other projects as well. If there's something in there, if there's like an open source project that you wanted me to contribute to, hey, it could be your project. I'm happy to do that on stream. Not this precise second in time, but when we get to a fairly stable place with this project, I'm looking at what we should do next. Okay, so test 2, test 3 seems to be the sweet spot for file size. Why does that say 5,000? WC-L. Feel like that's, what is that telling me? That's not file size. No one spotted that either. All of you could have said, Greg, what are you doing? That number's meaningless. What are the options for the poll? Does it not? So it should say a poll is going on for which project would you like me to see more of, and then it should say, yeah, perfect. Someone's beat me to it. Thank you. Yeah, so there must be like an LS. Can we? I'm sure there's an option in LS to LS help. And then again, I'm lazy, so lazy or efficient. Tell me about the size. Print the allocated size of each file in blocks. That's maybe a bit too much. You can sort by file size. That's pretty cool. All right, then tell me the size in blocks. No, that's not helpful. Human readable. What if it wasn't human readable? What if it wasn't human readable and we ordered by size? Okay. So instead, let's change this to be all WASM files, and we can see, yeah, so we can see we started off at 1.32 meg, and test 3 gets it down to 1.07. I think I'm going to add this as a step to the, should I add it as a step to the deploy, or should I add it? I think I should add it as a step before we run our tests in the build pipeline. Mysterious. Oh, yeah, that's a good point actually. That it doesn't really tell you. That's sorry, the poll should be a bit clearer than that. So BP is big primes, so that's the project we're doing now. Yeah, sorry, that poll is really unclear. I see what you're saying. CM is my personal site, so although not very interesting from a Rust point of view, that would be more about I guess HTML, JavaScript, embedding some plugins, that sort of thing. I think that was another follow, thank you. That would be probably a bit of continuous integration, continuous deployment, because at the moment that site doesn't have anything like that. It just deploys via, I forget what I'm using to deploy. I forget what I'm using to deploy with that. It doesn't matter. But the point is, I'd probably convert it to. I would definitely convert it to use a Travis-based deployment, or maybe a Circle CI. If there's, I guess I might ask people at the time, see what their preference is. And the GOL. Yeah, I thought it'd be cool to do a game of life in Rust, but not a typical one. I'm not going to give much away, but we're definitely going to need a fair bit of 3D graphics processing for that one. But I think that could be very fun. Right, just catching up with chat. Yeah, so test 4 is smallest. You are right. Maybe I should just. Oh yeah, it is smallest. You're right. Huh. Oh, we should do that then. It's weird how it kind of. Oh no, it's not weird at all because I was using the wrong command earlier. That's why I got so confused. Yeah, you're right. Makes sense. So I guess when we put this into CI/CD, we can just optimize level 4, right? How much code is in there? Well, it's a complete site, so there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot. There's a few things in there that are a bit. I mean, I'll show you them because you'll find them anyway. But there's some numbers which are for powering some of these pages. So there's information in here about the Mazens. So there's 50 of them. So there's that, and those don't compile that well. Then I think Fibonacci doesn't have any hard-coded stuff because Fibonacci is pretty simple. Fermat. Oh wow. Oh dear. Oh no. Look at that. There you go. We found it. We found the worst line of code. There it is. Line 12. That's incredible. Let's get. Sorry, we'll come back to. We'll come back to answering your question in a minute. But here's our problem. Here's one of them. Let's create another issue for that. Wow. So this is the Fermat page. Big primes, archive, Sorry, I'll catch up with chat in a second. I am just I'm disappointed in myself. Let's create a new issue. So it's that URL. I'm even going to point to the code. That is so poor. I know why I did that as well. I just wanted it to work. So I'm tired of trying to fix all these pages. I just want it to work. Because that's clearly not very good Rust. That's just hard-coded HTML. I know I don't want the commits. Then I have to look at my fantastically boring commit messages. I want to go into source. I want to go to pages. I want to go to archive. And I want to go to format. And I want to say this right here. Fix all the hard-coded HTML on format page. Labels. I mean, it's not really a bug. Could call it an enhancement. And actually, it's a good first issue. If somebody wanted to tackle this, you'd be welcome to. I'm not going to tackle this one today, but there's other example pages in here that you could look at. Mazen actually is probably one of them. Perfect would probably be another. Not even perfect. Oh, what is this? I mean, that's slightly better, right? There's at least it's split onto multiple lines, but I'm going to create another issue for that one. That's bad. New issue. Fix all the hard-coded. Fix all the hard-coded HTML on perfect page. Perfect archive page. There we go. Fix all the hard-coded HTML on the perfect page. Yep. Then close that. Go here. This is the format I want to copy. And why did I do that? That was completely unnecessary. Actually, I guess I could be lazy. I could just presume that these URLs will work. I think they will. Perfect. Fix all the hard-coded HTML on the perfect archive page. Labels. That is an enhancement. It's a solid first issue. Good stuff. Submit new issue. Close that. Close that. Right, let me catch up with chat. Yes, beautiful code. That's how you handle HTML, make it a string and someone else's problem. No. It's honestly, most of these pages I've been through and I have converted them. Because originally, this was, many of these pages were HTML pages, but Mazen's a good example. So here, this is what it's like after conversion. So there's a bunch of macros. We've got our headers, and then this HTML variable, which contains the rest of it, is this loop here, which is not so bad. And I guess if I don't know how well it will come across in the stream, but over on the right hand side, there's like a little rendering of the code, and you can see over here the two large arrays that make up the data that fill that. Ideally it would be one array, but I haven't yet figured out how to have a mixed array in Rust. I don't even know if it's possible. I don't know if you're supposed to have them. It's on my mental to-do list. But I guess we could already get rid of 100 lines or so out of this file, 50 lines or so out of this file if I could combine those arrays. Do I have a tool to convert hard-coded HTML to Rust expressions? It's a good question. I don't, but I'm really sure if we go to David O'Connor's seed library, it's not a library, it's more like a framework which we've been using. I'm pretty sure someone suggested one and he added it to the library. Yeah, the short answer is I don't have one, but in the seed framework, someone there you go, HTML to seed converter, someone's written a few, something like this. So someone's made an example, So yes, it does exist. So yeah, maybe this is an even easier thing than I thought. I guess there's two options. We could convert it. Good. Glad the stream quality is readable. I was worried about it on the right hand side. But yeah, so that's all we could be used to convert. At least then you'd have it as Rust rather than just HTML. Or a horrible HTML escape string. But ideally, you'd take it out of that format entirely, and like we've done with the, let's get rid of the pages that we don't care about. Like we've done with the Mazen page, you'd create an array. So ideally one array, not two. And then you'd loop through that array to build each of your rows, like we've done here, or here rather. There's a couple of advantages of doing that. Smaller code size for one, and then you can be sure about the fact that your numbers are really numbers. You can run checks and tests, and if it compiles, you can feel a bit better about it. But yeah, let's close that. I completely lost my train of thought after I saw such terrible code. So we were in here, we fixed that. I was looking at, or we were looking at these. Yeah, actually, I'd have been lost without all of you. I'd have been looking at incorrect file sizes for the whole evening. So we decided test 4 is the way to go. So, and we also had something building, which is now built, which is great. So if I head back on over to pull requests, oh, it didn't build. Why? What happened? Code cov 0%. Oh, I didn't improve the code coverage. To be fair, it was a really tiny bug fix. Look, we're just, you guys, yeah, let's just pretend that you folk didn't see anything, right? I'm just going to use some administrative privileges. There we go. There you go. We all saw nothing. So you work with Lisp. Oh, okay. Again, yeah, Lisp closure. I know nothing about these. I feel like I probably should. So you replace subtrees with simplifications. Pull out certain variables. Oh, okay. Doing these with macros is tedious. Yes. Yes, it is. So that's merged. And now it's deploying. Okay, so what was it even doing? I think this was fixing, what was it fixing? Oh yeah, if we were on, let's go to like 98. Yeah, look at this. Previous 100 primes. There's an overflow issue. So that was one of the problems. Pretty sure these links will work correctly after this fix. And once it's been deployed, we're good. So that's that. I guess actually we could spark up another branch now. Fix previous link on, so git status, git diff. I think the only thing I've actually done in terms of code change is, yeah, that one line that we all got upset by, and then actually found it wasn't the worst line in the code by a long shot. So git diff. Let's see if we have branches behind master by one commit. Well, that's okay. So let's go back to master and pull a copy. Great. So, what do I want to do with this? Do I want to keep this? Could create a whole pull request just for this one code tidy, but that seems like a, I might discard this. This feels like it's part of a bigger problem, actually. Yeah, I'm going to discard it. Git checkout. Huh. That's not what I was expecting. Git checkout master. Already on master. Okay, so what if I git checkout source or pages or whoa, please don't say it's blue screened. No, it's just the computer being super slow. Yeah, so this should be, we're in the package directory. Why are we in the package directory? Oh, because we were trying to compress that file, weren't we? Anyway, now I know I'm in the package directory, so let's get out of the package directory into the source directory. No? What is going on? I feel like autocomplete's having a real moment here. Git checkout. Source. Pages. Archive. Well, that fixed it. By fixed it, I mean overwrote that code change. Let's close that. Let's create a branch for this speed up. Git branch -m, and we're going to call it compress wasm binary. Then I think we need to get this going in Travis. So I think there's going to be a number of ways we could do this, but oh, I don't want cargo tunnel. Sorry, my brain was like, why is this file not written in YAML? That's because I clicked the wrong one. I want Travis. So in here, we've got all of our various build and test and deploy steps. And I think what I'm going to do is, I don't want to just keep trying to deploy this over and over again to see if it fixes, to see if it compresses. I think what I want to do is, as part of the test stage, we want to run the compression. I think that's a good shout. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So let's go through history on here, and we had a CMake somewhere, didn't we? So I had to install CMake. I don't know if that's going to be okay or not out of the box. Okay, so nightly. So let's install CMake. No, so this is used to compress WASM files for a approximately 20% size reduction. In fact, when I say this, I'm going to specify what it is as well. Binary en. Good stuff. Okay. Let's have a look. So that's not going to help. So that's fine. Think we're going to want to. Did you check gzip sizes at all? Did I check gzip sizes? No, I didn't. I could do that. That's fine. That's totally doable. What when you say did I check gzip? Do you mean, you know, should I gzip each of these WASM files and see what they're like comparatively after the gzip? And if I may make a complete guess at what you may be suggesting, yeah, then if I was to look at this, so we have Here's our 1.3 meg file. Oh my days, it tried to preview it. I mean, good luck to you, Chrome. Good luck. Yeah, so it says 1.3, accept encoding. So the request headers, so we requested gzip or deflate. And the response headers, I don't think it compressed it. So, I guess perhaps there's an option in CloudFront, turn on gzipping, that maybe isn't turned on at the moment. That'd be pretty neat if that's the case. CloudFront gzip. Well, it looks like they added it in 2015. Compress objects automatically? No. I'm imagining you probably want to change that to a yes. Is that where we're going with this? You can enable this feature in a minute. Simply open up the CloudFront console, locate your distribution, and set compress objects automatically to yes. I'll tell you what, right, it'll take me maybe the best part of 2 minutes to log into Amazon on a different machine. It needs to be a different machine because reasons. No, it needs to be a different machine because... Oh, why is that erroring? There we go. I need to get through all kinds of security otherwise on that other machine. It would just be a faff to do midstream. Lumi. I think CloudFront also delivers compressed files if you name them .wasm.gz or something. Oh, that could be pretty neat. Oh, that's curious. What just happened in chat? Sorry, I'm just catching up. Lumi, what happened? All your messages got deleted. That was... Lumi has been timed out for 1 second. Oh no, it detected that. Oh, I see. And then, as the bot then just removed all of your messages from chat as well. Oh, I'm gonna fix that. Not right this second, but I will fix that. I'd rather that it didn't just automatically punish people. That's crazy. That's yeah. Okay. I guess we could test this. We could test this 2 different ways. Yeah, I was surprised. I'm really surprised that bot decided to go quite so overkill on your messages. It literally just wiped out your entire message history. I didn't even know it could do that. Are you still in the chat? It hasn't like turfed you out entirely, has it? I hope it hasn't. That if it has turfed you out, like if I don't hear from you in the next like 20 seconds, I'm gonna have to just on the stream go in and figure out what's happened to you in that bot. You're still here. Good. Good. That is reassuring. Yes, I am trying to connect this other machine, but it's taking more than 2 minutes. It's a good point. How can we quickly test this? Your suggestion of that gzip file was pretty neat. We could try that. Let's see if we can find anything online about that. CloudFront gz file extension. gz compression at the edge. So is this going to be... we could gzip it and manually put a file up there, but well, here's a thing. So we could configure CloudFront to compress your content. CloudFront compressors. So I don't think WebAssembly is here. So it might have to be a slightly more manual job. Yeah, I don't know what it'll do for the gzip. That's a good point. We could gzip -9. Well, let's. I'll tell you what. First of all, let's do what you originally said. Let's gzip -9 on these test files. In fact, we could. I guess we could do it on the original file. Why? Oh, there it is. I didn't mean to delete all of that. Gzip -9. Big primes. pg.wasm. So first up, what do we end up with? 417k. So that's pretty neat. I feel like I did not mean for it to replace that file. Is it -C to keep it? Or was it output it to the command line? I can't remember. Yeah, output it to the command line. Don't want to do that. Quiet, recursive. What? Write to write on standard. Keep original file unchanged. Does it do both? Maybe it does both. We'll find out in a second. Let's do test 1. So we want to do -9 and C, and hopefully this won't output to the command line. Oh, it does. Oh, it's terrible. Did it also keep it? I mean, hopefully at least kept it. Okay, it kept it. And let's put this in .gz. Great. Then we can go through. I feel like there's probably a shorter way of doing this, a quicker way of doing this, a nicer way of doing this, but this is the way I appear to have chosen to do this. -4, -4. And then let's have a look at these files, these wonderful files. So I would say we end up with 417 if it's no prior WASM. Compression is the wrong word. I feel like compression is the wrong word, but if it hasn't gone through and tried to make the file size smaller, yeah. So these all end up around 360, and number 2 being the smallest, closely followed by number 3. I think there is also the K option. The K option. gzip -- help. And that's undocumented, an undocumented K. That makes sense though. Okay, so we have essentially proved to ourselves that if we compress this with gzip, then everything would be a bit better. Sure. So we've also proved to ourselves that it's a bit better in every single case. So we still want to do this -2 or -3. But let's see how far we get with this. So we've got wasm pack build cd. No, that's not what we did. Git clone, git clone. Okay, so we cloned down this binary thing. I'm gonna move this over to here because I don't want to get rid of it because that's useful. I'm gonna have a look at that as a secondary thing for us to do. Okay, so then we ran this cmake thing, didn't we? Let's get the history back. Go back up to here. Okay, so we cd into binary en, clone the copy, and then we run our wasm pack build, and see what else we got going on. I think in our No, that's still nightly deploy, stage deploy. So within deploy, I think we mention was unpack build cdww dot. Then we copy. Okay, so outside of the www dot directory is this package directory. So after we run the build, so let's go. I don't think that's maybe that's not any different. No, it's not actually. So was unpack build. Fine. I think we can put some. I don't really like doing this. I feel like this could be broken onto multiple lines at this point. I'm going to break this onto multiple lines and hopefully not break everything. Okay, so we're going to do that. So let's cd in, and therefore, in order not to break things, we are also going to need to cd out. It's interesting. So you see the keep option for gzip in your help. Let's compare versions. What version of gzip are you running? I'm gonna have a look. Gzip. I bet it's just like -v, right? Or is that gonna be verbose? Yeah, it's gonna be verbose. -- version. 1.6. The fact that the copyright notice was last, like, since 2011. Okay, so that CDs into this thing that we've just grabbed. It was added at the end of 2013. But why is my gzip from 2011? Hang on. I'm going to sidetrack this whole stream to figure out this gzip mystery. Gzip version. Like what? What's going on? Where can I find the code? GNU project maybe. Gzip project page. We're getting somewhere. Yeah. So this is. So I'm running 1.6, which is not even on there. It's not. I mean. Okay, that's a mystery for another time. Let's drag that over there. Very surprising. This is like Ubuntu version 18 as well. Anyway, right, okay. You can see I'm shaking to my very core by learning this information. Close that. So cd binary en cmake and make, and then go back out again. So we want. So this will compile binary en, and then somewhere we're going to need to actually run the compression algorithm. So if I go back up to here, we could. I think that's what we ended up with. Where did we? There it is. And I think we settled on 4 being without gzip. It's the smallest. So let's just stick with 4. Let's do that. That's before script, and then as part of script. Yeah, because I think this is something that it should fail on. Binary en. So at this point, let's just check all of our CDs. So we've gone into binary en, we've got run cmake, we've run make, and then we've gone back up a directory. Then we go into www, we copy something, we run npm install, and then we come out of www again. Then here we should see binary en. Should see this basically, and this file is going to be wrong. So I think before we run this, actually I think we are going to do this as part of the before script. Oh, I've changed my mind. I think we go into there, we run cmake, we run make, then we run this. Optimize, and we're going to optimize on. I just read your message. Ubuntu 18 is still on an old GZ version. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. It seems such a strange. It seems so strange to leave something tagged so far behind. Hang on, I'm just going to check my phone. See how we're doing. Okay, seem to be doing all right. So we see, yes, okay, so we're running this, and then so that's package, right? Sorry, squinting there. So we want to probably take this. Get rid of that. So okay, so we're going to run cmake, then we're going to run make, then we're going to run the compiled binary that we've just made to compress, or whatever we're calling it, package big primes bg.wasm into, guess, the same thing. I feel like we could probably overwrite it. It'll probably be okay with that. It's going to have to be yeah, it's going to have to be the same thing, because otherwise the program won't actually run. You're happy you don't run Ubuntu? Yeah. What are you on? Mac or another flavor of Linux? Okay, so output file is going to be package big primes bg. Okay. I'm going to add an explanation as to what on earth is going on here. Compile. I feel like that's not really. You know what I'm going to do? Actually, I want to kind of make this a bit more truthful to what's going on. So now it does the actual compilation of this WebAssembly binary en thing up here, which is part of the install, because we're installing something. Then here, before script, we're running the wasm pack build, which gives us our original wasm file. Then we're going into binary en. We're running our compiled wasm optimizer on this WASM file. We're optimization level 4. This is our output file, and then we're CDing back out of it. Boom. Let's see if that works. Compile. I'm saying compiling. Let's commit. Let's commit this one code change. So we are adding binary en or WebAssembly binary. Binary en. I want to find the name of the file that we actually run. Oh yeah, WASM IPT. Adding binary, or we're compiling. Compiling. We're compiling binary en wasm opt, and then optimizing our WASM project file. Should result in a smaller, faster WSM project file. Great. Describe what we're doing. Let's git push, and it'll probably say, hey, you haven't used this branch before. Yes, we know. We know. your okay. Yeah, Mac's pretty useful for this sort of thing. And your Linux is NixOS. Let's see if this works. Oof. Merge pull request errored. Code cov. Oh, of course it did. Oh, hang on a minute. No. What's that error about? That feels like a one-off error. I'm gonna restart that job. Definitely gonna restart that. Okay, so now we've got things running all over the place. So this is going to need us to open up a pull request. One second. Pull request. Right, I've taken one headphone off because I thought I could hear something. Compare pull request. Compiling binary AM. Result a smaller file size. Fine. Okay, I think actually this is a good place to stop the stream. We'll see what the results of this are next time. I'm going to try and do an evening in this week, or maybe many evenings, but we'll see. But if not, I'll definitely be back on Sunday afternoon. That's my go-to day. Yeah, otherwise I will see you hopefully during an evening this week. Thanks everyone. Amazing stream again. I learned loads. Yeah, chat's been really helpful. Hopefully speak again. Thanks ever so much, everybody.